I think I even tried doing the push off, to try to go and left my shoe back there.
Did you get your shoe back?
I did get it.
Okay. Like Cinderella.
I think my whole leg
looking for
fell off.
him.
My whole leg fell off back there.
Boom. And we're live.
Oh, this is what's up. This is the best part of my day right here. Hit me up, y'all. Hit me up, y'all. If y'all have comments and questions, go and leave them down below. We're going to get to them later on. Because we want to hear from you, the viewer. Here we go. What is up, everybody? This is Jason at GoPowerSports. This is Minibike and Go-Powersports podcast, where we talk about mini bikes, we talk about go-karts, we talk about power sports, we talk about F1 and whenever I can fit it in. I need to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. First off, Printed Threads. Give a shout out to you. Jose down at Rockwood. Anyone who needs mini golf or Rockwood thrills, go down to Rockwood and see Jose. Tell him I said hey. We also have Tillotson and Trailmaster. Thank you guys so much. Without you, we couldn't do any of this. I couldn't do this podcast without my besties. I got the fastest pooper, Zane Cooper.
Oh, you nailed it.
I got him. Before we move on.
Beat you any day, bro.
Before we move on, now I can ask the questions on the podcast. Tell me about the forehead.
What about the forehead?
It's Ash Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm clueless.
It's just a reminder that we come from dirt, and to dirt we will return. So it's kind of a reminder of our own mortality, kind of a memento mori situation. And it's a reminder that, like, we're human, we are fallible, whereas the Almighty is not. And it's a good reminder to ourselves as we enter the Lenten season.
So is it straight up dirt? Is it ash?
It's ashes, yeah.
Now, at the church, they just made up a bunch of ashes and everyone came up and they just hit them up? Or did you do it yourself?
No. You, it's called, I think it's imposition of the ashes is what it's called. And so you actually will have the priest, or, if you're in the Catholic Church or if you're in Episcopalian Church, you have the reverend or whatever, and they just, do a quick thing and they say, from dust you come, to dust you will return. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah.
We also have Bernie's on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. You should see his cross. It is...
I am ashy as well.
He needed some lotion for sure. And from all the way of outside of Fort Worth, we got our main engine man, Paul Crafton. Come on down, Paul. Come on down. Have a chat with us. We love it when Paul's on the podcast. Yes. We're going to see how many secrets we can pull out of him.
Oh, God. We can Paul out of him.
That's what I put for the description. Paul is going to tell us some trade secrets of the Minibike and Go-Kart greats. So
nice. And whenever you're stuck,
I've already forgot what I know.
Better call
Paul. Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's up, Paul? What are you up to today?
Hello.
Being on
Today's
the podcast.
just been a run-around day for real. To be honest, I don't think we did anything today at the shop. I ran around and
Well, who's
took my
we at
son
the
to
shop?
school. Oh, I got an employee now. Yeah.
Whoa.
What's his name?
His name's Ben. He's
What's
been
up,
a
Ben?
long time.
Listener, first-time caller.
Yeah, pretty much.
he's actually here.
Come on out, Ben.
Come on out, man.
Uh-oh. No, he's the son of a guy that of Robert that I met him one day at the gas station when I worked for QT, and we just kind of be friends, and he's taught me so much about go-karts and racing, and I needed somebody, and his son seemed like the perfect fit. And so
Nice.
far he's been everything I needed.
Well, Ben, son of Robert, you seem like a good cat.
Well, how old is Ben?
Man,
He's
I know the
6.
other day someone asked me this, and I think he told me he was 25.
Okay, he's in.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
So-
I want to refer to him as Ben of son of Robert for the rest of the time.
That actually went pretty good. I like that too.
So I want to go back in time. Let's talk
Okay.
about the GPS 180. I know it was a few months ago, but I need
Yeah.
you to really drive back in there. Did you race?
I raced, and I've been wanting to do the solo deal probably since the second year. How many
Oh.
years are we doing this now? 4? 5?
5?
Yeah.
This is our 5th going
Yeah.
into.
So, yeah. So after the first year, no. no, I guess it worked out the way it was supposed to. The first year, we didn't know what to expect, right? It was completely different anyway. It was at the racetrack, the dirt track.
Yeah, you had. What was your buddy's name?
Um,
Gabe?
no, why did you just make me go?
Chris? Baxter?
Baxter is
There it
Carter
is.
Baxter.
Carter. There
Yeah.
it is.
I'm sorry, Carter. I forgot your name. You put me on the spot.
Well, I just remember it because I remember seeing footage because we had the 360 on you or a GoPro and you just like tumbled. I mean, I don't know if anything hit you or whatever, but I remember you went flying off
I
the
did
bike.
wreck that, didn't I? We did, yeah.
Oh no.
That's been so long ago I can't even remember.
Because of
Probably because
wreck.
of the no, after we had a great first year. The second year we told ourselves let's do it again. Even built that bike from the ground up, and Stan ruined it the first corner of the lap, but he knows that. And now look at his bike. He's got the best bike ever made.
He said he was
So-
going to
Such an awesome
sabotage
bike.
your bike.
He probably will. He's in the shop all the time,
yeah.
and I won't notice till the night before.
Until you're actually on the racetrack.
But
He said he has been putting sand into your gas tank for so long now.
I wondered why it only holds like a quart of gas now. No, we just I took a year off, but I told myself I wanted to do it solo. I think that's the real thrill out of it for me, at least. I used to do the like the dirt bike endurance stuff. I really liked that, and everything is solo. You don't do any team stuff.
You
And
did the
it's-
lime too, right? When I first
Did
got
the
here.
lime?
Yeah.
Yep. And I just told myself I wanted to do it solo, and I don't think I'll ever go back. You get a little bit of fatigue. For me personally, I got a little bit of fatigue maybe for 30 minutes, and then you get the jitters out, you get the brain clear, and you just relax and you just ride. And I only had a few hiccups, and I still managed, I think, 8th place.
8th place out of all the juggernauts or 8th place out of
I
all
think
the
total.
suspension? Oh, wow.
Good job.
Yeah. Don't quote me.
Oh,
I'm
they're
sorry
quoting
if
you
someone
already,
got
in
8th
the
place
comments.
already. Yeah, I'm 9th or 40th. I don't remember. But for some reason, I think
One
I
of
was told I was 8th place overall.
No, this guy said you were 12th, and where's my package? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you happen to
I
know,
can't count. I don't ship.
Do you happen to know what kind of lap times you were putting in?
Slow.
Okay.
Real slow.
Because I know super fast was in the 9 minutes.
I might have been 14, 15 minutes. I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I don't know. I think around 11,
Okay.
somewhere in there. But I'm not a very good bike rider. I just do it for fun. I've raced go-karts, forever. That's what I like. I mean, I like racing in general, but I can't ride a bike.
Okay.
I tried racing motorcycles when I was younger, and I sucked at that. But
You're like, where are the other two wheels?
yeah, you turn the steering wheel, and you're like, oh, that's handlebars.
So what were these hiccups?
Well, part of it was not listening to Stan. Stan told me to do something, and I did it on my front setup, and he had already had an issue, and I didn't fix it, and it come loose.
Was it the steel wiring? Because I know
The
he
safety
did that.
wire.
Yeah,
No, that would have helped obviously because nothing would have come apart. But he pretty much safety wired everything and Loctite it and everything. But I modified something and short timed. I didn't do enough safety, I guess, and
It's never enough.
it messed up the front. The front axle messed up. The hub, everything come loose, come apart. And I rode probably a quarter of a lap that way until I looked down and my whole front tire's just doing this because I kept telling myself something just ain't right. And I'd finally looked down and I was like, yeah, I'm in trouble.
Sure enough.
So I limped it back, got it fixed, and then I think the chain come off. If I remember right, I can't even remember, but I want to say the chain come off. And I limped it back and we got it all going, and Stan told me I needed a real good tensioner. I said, nah, I'll be all right.
Wah, wah.
There we go. But other than that, I mean, I would say it was pretty good. I got the bike still in one piece. It's still rideable. It still runs good. I have a few upgrades I'm doing for this year on my stuff. Engine and bike, just for, I'm a solo rider, so I need a little bit different stuff. We don't have that, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to stop. The goal is not to stop.
So you want more? You need more
Fuel is one of them.
Yeah.
I think I'm from between me and Stan, because I piggyback off a lot of him. We did a lot of his bike in my shop, and he helped me a lot, and we brainstormed a lot together. And I want to say we need somewhere around, I don't remember the even number, or I'd tell everybody because I think, you know, it don't even matter. So many things can happen. I want to say it's 2 gallons is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had like 1.5 gallons, and then I topped it off even though I didn't really need to. And then I still had over 1 gallon left when we stopped. And I think Stan's had 3 gallons, and I think he had like 1 gallon left in his tank. Mm-hmm. So I think the 2 gallon is the magic number for our horsepower and our carburetor that we're using. And it worked. I think that's what I think, if I remember right. It's 2 gallons. That's what we're going to go for this year.
There's got to be so many variables with trying to determine how much gas you need, like weight,
A million
how
times.
you ride.
Yeah,
like-
you can't be always on the gas. You just it's just easy going. But the biggest thing is me and Stan both pretty much have identical engines and identical carburetors. We do have actually everything that is identical. I don't say pretty much. They're identical. I built them the same way, and I think even his overall bike, I think, is just a little bit heavier than mine. But we can skim that with losing 1 gallon of gas.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't for sure. His goal was, I'm not stopping. He even brought extra gas in like a little side court thing, and I'm like, I'll just push it. But
he did really well that day.
he did really, really
Well,
well.
he was second in Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think he even could have won it if it wasn't so heavy in the beginning. Because I remember 2 years ago when we built our bike, I don't think we took that into consideration. We overdid everything to make sure everything was perfect, gusseted this and blah, blah, blah. We had so many bikes break that first year. And then, you know, now we're at the GPS ranch, and it's not a racetrack. It's not doubles and triples that we're trying to jump on a mini bike. So we didn't really have the same issues we did the year before. And I think the bike was too heavy. For me especially. I'm not very strong, and I can't even ride a bike very well, period. So I think it was just too heavy for me, and that was one of the things I did this year, or last year, whatever, is make my bike a little bit lighter. So I thought about doing it a little bit kind of the same. I would like to lighten a few more things this year, because I'm going to put another gallon of gas on the bike. So I want to do it. But for me overall, I couldn't have asked for a better bike for myself.
What frame are you using?
MB200.
Okay.
I will say this, I almost want to switch to our Megalodon, I think is the package is what we call it.
Yeah.
Because that's like, it's perfect. It handles great. It's a great stance, but I think it's different. The geometry is a little bit different than the MB200, and I've rode them twice now. It's just not my style. I guess just that little bit of geometry that and maybe I'm just so used to riding the MB200 now for the last couple of years. I'm just so comfortable now on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to change, and I'm not, like I said, I've said it 10 times now. I suck at riding a bike anyway, so.
Well, the MB200 does have a taller stance. The
Even the Megalodon?
I feel like it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
that Megalodon is more like a lower, like Harley style cruiser. That when you do lift it with the rear swing arm and you have the new triples on
Yep.
there, it does raise it up a bit. But
think it's still
stance wise, yeah, I still feel like it's
That might be
squattier.
part of it.
And I mean, I feel like the Megalodon is much heavier
Okay.
because it just has thicker tubing.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. I guess I've looked at it enough, and I am taller, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about it with Taylor. I got him on video. Describe it. He showed the distance between the seat and the foot peg, and that's what determines like your hip, like
That's
angle.
That feel, yeah. And maybe
it's
that's
not even the
main
height;
thing.
it's the where your foot peg is at compared
That makes
to your
sense.
seat.
That makes sense. There's, a professional aspect at it in any kind of racing, and that's the same thing I do right there on go-kart racing. Little tiny things I can just visually look at someone's go-kart and be like, yeah, that's not going to work. And someone that races bikes or knows bikes, that's exactly the distance. That's probably what I need to go and look at. Because that was one thing with like Stan's bike's really tall from bottom of the engine down, but it just didn't feel as comfortable as my bike. Even though I would like a I'd like a couple inches extra on my bike height, but I never had any issues this year, even with the gullies of mud that we had that we were all going through. I
Was
never
there mud?
bottomed out.
There was mud.
So what was different for you this time? Because you took a year off after they had already made a bunch of additions the year before during the 3rd annual. So now at this 4th annual one, you came back. There's a bunch more stuff, and it's muddy. And
It was And I'm not my mind. I need like some kind of something to keep my mind clear because it's just so fogged up. I guess just from running the business, I feel like this is how my brain works, and I could never grasp the memorization of the trail. Like everyone's always telling me to, check out this area or that area, or to keep in mind this here at that, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What is it?
Is it by the tree or by the rock? Because that's everywhere. How far after the hill? Is it where everyone falls, or is everyone, I just can't
That's
even
why
remember.
you need somebody with a drone in your ear telling you, like, you ever seen
a
rally
race
racers?
spotter, yeah.
How they have,
Yeah.
like, the guy with
I
the
would
map?
love that.
Yeah.
I need one of those little guys on my shoulder that just talks to me the
A
whole time.
leprechaun?
I don't know, whatever it is. A good luck charm. But I just couldn't remember anything that anyone was telling me, so I think I got one lap of practice. I went out there that morning and I told myself, well, I better get out there and just make a lap to see what it's about. And that was almost a mistake because it was still so muddy. I remember I was like, I can't even get up the main hill. And I'm like, I'm not even going to make a lap in this thing. I was so embarrassed, too, because I was like, is anyone watching me? This is kind of embarrassing.
We actually have that clip right now.
Yeah.
We're going to pull it. No.
It ain't no different. I felt the same way last year at the 660. I last minute everything, and
But the thing is I will say you attempted.
I attempted
And
it.
I think that's like a lot of people don't even go. I still haven't taken a bike down
the strip.
down the strip at Yellow
Okay.
Valley, and I really want to.
Yeah.
Like,
It's different. I had never done it. We'd always street race, so it was completely different. But it at the 180, it dried up so fast. It didn't even matter after lap 2. It was great.
enough people just.
And there were so many people, 100-something bikes. I think we had a lot. I had at least 100, right?
150.
Close to 150. Yeah.
There you go. So I think by lap 2, because I even questioned it, a lot of us questioned it, how muddy it was going to be the whole time or what you really needed to do. Some people even went and bought different tires because they were like, well, these aren't going to work. And I said, it's going to work for me because I'm not changing no tire.
It has to.
Yeah, it has to work or I'm just going to be here. But by lap 2, I think it was perfect.
Nice.
It was so tacky. There was a few muddy spots, but that's endurance racing.
Yeah.
I just really didn't. I was just really worried because my bike didn't even make up the hill. I'm literally going the
You're
whole way, and I'm like,
pedal
"Man, this is
biking and
not going to
walking
be
up."
good.
Yeah.
But by lap 2, I was like, just ripping.
Nice.
So I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to do it again this year. A few upgrades. And I'm just going to do it again.
Now you did bring it up. Are you entering anything into either Pull Start Picnic or into the GPS 660 this year?
Yeah. For the pull start, I'll be there, but I'm not really going to enter anything personally. I think my dad's taking his bikes again.
Oh, nice. Okay,
You
yeah.
know, he's put a lot of time in those two, Hornet and then the Roper. He just picked another bike up, but he's not. He's not going to have time. I doubt it by then. But you never know, though. But for me, my bikes really aren't show quality, I guess. I mean, they're cool.
Why don't
but-
you bring your bike from the 180? Just keep all the dirt on it.
I mean, I washed it. I washed it this year.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
all you got to do is take it to Carlos and then at Racing Wheel Repair,
Yeah.
and it looks good.
It will, but then I got
So
to take
everybody
it
does.
apart and I got to put
Yeah.
it back together, and
The
I don't even think I'm going to have time to do
Yeah.
that.
You'll be you're gonna take up Stanley's bikes, aren't you?
I am bringing Stanley's, but I mean those aren't mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm bringing Stan's bikes.
Nice.
His trike. He's trying to finish up some new parts for it too,
Oh,
which
cool.
are it should be pretty cool.
nice.
Um,
Is Stan not going to be there? He's
no,
working.
I think he's out of town.
Yeah.
Dang.
But then the following, so to set the stage, everyone can show up to Pull Start Picnic. It's a mini bike show at a Rockwood Go-Karts. It's Saturday, April 12th. And then following that day, we will be out at Yellow Belly in Grand Prairie, Texas, April 13th at around 12 p.m. or so. We're going to do mini bike drag racing from 12 to midnight or whenever anyone stops. Usually it goes pretty late into the night. So what drag bike are you bringing to GPS 660?
So I've got my
Look at the smile. You smiled.
I got my little beater for the pull start class.
What is the beater? Is it a
I
doodle
think
bug?
it's a doodle bug.
Nice. I know someone else who has one of those.
Yeah.
Link to the video right here.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that one. And then I've got my Rascal GT. I'm excited for that. I've done a few more upgrades on that. And the drive system is
What
better.
kind of engine are you going to throw on that one?
Mine.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but are you entering it? It's not entering the Polestar, right? Or are you going to do starter?
No, it's not a pull start. It's the, what is that class called? It's just small block. Starter box, I think is what we call
Starter
it.
box, yes.
It's that class. With the way we have the rules, to me, and I'm I'm a racer, so I like to be competitive regardless if I'm winning or not. But I think it's the most competitive class because you move up to the outlaw class and a little bit more money gets involved.
Yeah.
And I'm a one-man show too, so I'm already running 2 bikes. So trying to run the outlaw class as well, it'd be pretty hard.
Are you going to have a jockey?
It depends on how competitive I can get the bike.
Okay. You're not going to have Ben, son of Robert,
No,
ride it.
No, we can't do
okay.
that. We're go-kart racers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
We have talked about already. We're racers, so we've already talked about getting him on a bike, getting him in a class, getting him in the 180. We've already talked about all that.
And he's like, no, I'll stick with 4 wheels.
No,
Thanks."
he's down.
Oh, okay,
he's
cool,
definitely down.
Okay.
And I'm a realist too, though. So I already told him. I was like, we ain't gonna be competitive.
It's just for fun, just to show
it's just
up
for
at
fun.
least, yeah.
But that's why I'm in the pull start class. I think I actually have a shot at that. There's so many variables in that, and I know, I think more tricks than most, especially for the pull start stuff. So I can get a little bit more out of them. So I get that little bit added advantage. But I'm really going for the starter box class. Okay. I'm showcasing some new stuff. And I think I've really been working hard at it, trying to get everything to work. Because everyone still tries to tell you that you have to run a clutch in that class. That's the only way. But we got some stuff.
Trying to make a jug averter work?
I'm not going to talk about it.
He can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Dang.
But everyone has already seen it that was there last year, what I had. But we've tweaked it a ton, and I've even gone to making a bunch of one-off stuff as well for my drive system that I would hopefully one day we can make a production stuff, but I've got to get it a little bit more fine-tuned. But I also have to make sure it's worth it for us, that I'm not just wasting my time, right? Is it legal in our categories of racing? Is it legal in what I'm trying to get it into, and it's not going to cost the same as a junior dragster setup?
Is it
'Cause that's the
allowed
whole
under
goal.
the Geneva Conventions?
Yeah, sure.
Are you doing any test passes? Because that's half the battle.
The problem is I am, but I don't know how well it's going to correspond to the strip. What killed me too last year, I think most of my problem, it was practicing on the concrete asphalt, if you will, and then I went to the drag strip, and it was, when did we start last year? 2 or 3 or something?
Yeah.
And the track was boiling hot. The track was so sticky. When I would
My
hit
shoes
the
came
gas,
off.
my shoe come off. The bike barely moved, and I'm going, something ain't right.
That's why you got to get that seat time in there.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
go to.
And that's and everybody listening, if you're gonna race the 660 and you want to even think about being competitive, you got to practice it. You got to try to get to a drag strip. You've got to come down to Yellow Belly. I mean, I think they have a race coming up here, a practice race.
I think every Friday and Sunday, maybe even some Saturdays.
Saturdays
they're
at
practicing.
the street.
I know it's
the
kind of hard for
spots.
some people, but if you got a local drag strip that's willing to let you make a couple of passes or something,
Yeah.
do it, because the strip is completely different.
Yeah.
And that was me. Never had been on one on a mini bike, and I hit the gas, and it went,
Shoe stuck.
and it barely went. And I was going, okay. And then I rode back. I'm like, I got a few ideas, right? I can do this. No big deal. First call. And of course, what I draw? First round.
Oh,
So
no.
I just rode my back to the line, and I just took off slow again and got whooped.
Dang.
So
Do you know who beat you?
I don't.
Some
No.
grandma on a scooter.
I know.
It was Dot who won the Little Rascal.
Yeah.
I know Rick Watson beat me in starter box.
Shouts out to Rick.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
And he ain't getting it that easy this year, though. It was a guy from Oklahoma. I can't remember, in the pull start class. But literally, I was like, I didn't even get to change air pressure or nothing. I wanted to do something. No, I just went out there and I was like,
Yeah.
it's going to be embarrassing because I didn't even make a change. Yeah. I think I even tried doing the push off, to try to go, and left my shoe back there. And
Did you get your shoe back?
I did get it.
Like Cinderella.
I think my whole leg
looking for
come off.
him.
My whole leg fell off back there.
Oh man.
It was just so different.
It looked like a cartoon got hit by a car. It was just
It was
like
worse.
one shoe.
It
sitting
was
there.
embarrassing.
Yeah, Bo says it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
Completely different.
I think it's a race,
Yeah.
actually.
That's why he didn't win. Bo.
Yeah.
He can't take mini bikes to the basketball court.
Yeah.
He showed up with his and one shorts on. He was ready to go.
So if
But
Sorry.
I'm a little prepared now.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm winning it, but goes back a jockey. If I get the bike competitive enough and I think it's something, I got one.
That's what Pete just said. Small jockey is the only way to have a chance.
Yeah. Oh, for sure to win.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I'm 200 pounds. I'm already giving up, plus or minus 60 pounds right off the bat.
You could lose 60 in a month.
And die?
Yeah, I mean, if you cut off a leg.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing a big boy class this year, right? I know that we'd floated having a class just for like anyone over 100.
We're not even going to do like an exhibition or anything?
We could, I'd say some, big boy grudge racing maybe.
If they show up, show up. I mean, I've already told people to come.
Yeah.
I said there will be enough time in between or after.
yeah.
We'll get some big boy racing in because that's what I want to go against too.
Yeah.
I
No,
wouldn't
Montoya
mind
wants
racing
it.
a
He's in these
200.
comments. So
Yeah, Montoya, I'm ready to race him.
Yeah.
So
So I think how we would do that is that we're throwing like a weight pack on someone to even it out. Did I just make this up?
no,
I think
so,
it was just that anyone over a certain weight would be in
I don't
this
remember
other
what
weight
Kevin
class.
said, but I think it was 200 and up as a rider.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be willing to throw on a weight vest or something, try it out.
Yeah. So I don't know the exact rules. I don't know if there was even really rules. I think Kevin's talked about it a few times, but
There is a big block class.
yeah, I'm not on that.
Okay.
I got a whole shelf full of them, and
You're not gonna.
I'm not gonna
Not
mess with
strap
it.
one onto the rocket and try it out.
nah.
how big of a difference is there in building a small block and a big block?
There's so much into it now. I could probably redo it. I built these motors years ago, but I just never could get the big block stuff to really turn the RPM. And you need RPM to really do it. I mean, it's got some grunt power. I mean, they'll go, but the small block's got the horsepower and the RPM. So I just always go back to that. But now there's such big small blocks out there, all the billet stuff coming out that people, 500 cc, whatever, 450 cc, whatever they are, and they're still claiming them as small blocks. And they're turning them 10 grand. So I haven't really even looked into it enough to know if the geometry is different or anything compared to an actual true big block. But I've got a few. I've got a 460 big block and two 500cc big blocks, and they run good and they're fast. But
So if you put them together, you have like 1,000 cc's, right?
I think you can tape them together, and they.
Did you see what Cars and Cameras did with the 4 engines, making it
Yeah.
inline? That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
You should do that
Yeah.
with your doodle bug.
Well, they had 2 engines on a mini bike last year. We can put 4
Yeah.
on a mini bike.
Let's do it.
So since we can't speak about your actual race engine, so people who don't know, Paul is our engine builder. He builds engines. We put them on the website for everyone just to cruise around. Do you want to talk about any new engines that are out on the market or new kits that people should be looking at?
Yeah, I mean, all of them really. If you're on here and you haven't looked at our website, just go through it. I mean, we put new stuff on there all the time. You know, keep clicking on the new tab. I mean, I work here and I still see there's still new stuff all the time.
There's
I'm like,
always
when
new
did we
things.
get this?
Yeah.
Are there any engine things, like any upgraded engines that you're interested in?
So we've been getting into a lot of the junior dragster stuff.
Okay.
So we're getting into that a lot. So there's been more and more, you know, more horsepower stuff coming out. We have a lot of new stuff coming out this year. You'll see a lot more stuff focused on just the bigger engine stuff. I think we're still, you know, and we're still focusing on even the 660 stuff because we've trying to keep the big motor stuff that we're building under that 290cc limit, even though you can, you know, just make the piston a little bit bigger and it would be illegal technically, but you can get more out of it if you were doing the bigger motors. I think we've gotten up to on the Tillotson block, we're up to 310cc is the biggest I think we've put together. And there might be still some room, but this is something, you know, I don't want to just run it down the strip one time or 10 times and it's trashed or it's going to blow up or something. So
Yeah.
it's pretty reliable at 310, as much as a modified motor can be. But our biggest thing we're trying to get into is the more of the kits to make it easy for people to put some of these higher horsepower stuff together that's actually racing parts instead of going and getting the Harbor Freight 224. I mean, people keep buying these engines online because they're bigger numbers, but they're crappy.
Yeah.
They're still using a stock piston, and you know the piston weighs twice as much as our Tillotson piston, and they're just not racing engines. But people think since it's a bigger number, whatever numbers people are even claiming anymore that they're selling, I can't even keep up anymore. Or they're putting the Ghost racing engine and they call it a racing engine, but it's just a 212. You know, it's how's that go by 225? You're getting probably twice as much horsepower.
Oh yeah, easily.
Porter wants to know what size stroke for that 310 that you were talking about.
Hit him with that knowledge.
I want to say, I can't even remember, but I want to say it's geez, I can't even remember. What is it, 63 millimeter or 64?
Okay.
Something like that.
There you go, Porter. Shouts out to Porter. We hung out with him yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you guys cuddle for a little bit?
We did. It got scary at the ranch during the tornado. So
Were you worried you were going to end up in the land of Oz? What's going
yeah,
on?
that's what it was. And I figured if I'm going to end up there, a guy with a red beard like his would be beneficial to be around. So
So sorry.
Yeah,
so
no,
these-
you're
these
good.
kids.
60, I want to say it's 63 or 64 millimeter. But it's all in the piston and stuff too. And that's not a drop together kit. It's nothing we're going to offer anytime soon. It's so much work. But, you know, if you're wanting a big, huge CC motor, big horsepower, it takes a lot of work. But we're trying to get together more kits, use actual racing parts that are actually developed, you know, based off of geometry and angle and all the true stuff that you look at when you're building a racing part. Not just, you know, bigger this, bigger that, and you're still using stock angles and everything else. And one thing we've been working on for years now, I guess this is going on 4 years or so, is the 236 kit. 236cc, you know, 14.5 cubic inch in the go-karting world is the mod motor. It's the big motor is what we call it in the go-karting world. But there's a couple of, you know, places you can buy parts that may sell a kit that's like this, but ours I think I've really spent the time to make all the components good. We've sourced the right stuff. Not all the cranks that are out on the markets are the same. It's a cast crank, but the material that we're using, the heat treating process that our company is using, the degreeing of the gear itself to make sure that it's timed correctly. All that stuff matters. And there's a lot of companies that are just trying to buy the cheapest thing they can find somewhere and resell it, where you just get what you get. So I know we've sourced to me, it's the best for what it is. And I designed the rod to be as good as we really could, I think. It's very little clearancing, if any, depending on what camshaft you need or want. And it fits the racing piston, the Tillotson racing piston, and it's a great overall piston. Super lightweight, and we literally have almost no issues.
Nice. And you can put this in just a 225 Tillotson, or could you do
It'll fit in really anything, any
Even
of the blocks. Yeah.
like Predator 212?
It'll fit in a Predator.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't mess with many Predators anymore, so I know the variances of the blocks are all over the place, but it probably won't take much clearancing, if any. It is a 72 bore, so you'd have to go take your standard 212 would have to be bored out, but it fits right into the Tillotson block, and they're only $100. And in any ways, when people are buying all this stuff, they go and buy what are the Predators now, $169, I think, and then you throw half of it in the trash. And I'm like, why don't you just buy the Tillotson block for $100 and buy the few components and then buy the parts you want, and you'll be in it less.
Yeah.
And that's why we're trying to do the kits. So the kits, you could buy the few pieces and slap it together, and you got twice as much power, and it's actually a racing engine instead of just trying to make your not racing engine on a racing engine.
I've got so I do have two questions about this. The first one is, are we going to offer people the option to get this engine pre-built and sent to them, like with the kit pre-installed?
We already do. The kit, not so much. I've talked about selling like a short block kit, but there's always just so many variables.
Okay.
I think it's best just the parts we already sell. It's the clearancing that you would have to, if we sold it as a kit, the clearancing that I would have to do it, I have to know every single spec. Then at that point, I might as well just build it for you.
Okay.
But our kit already comes pre-clearance for most of the issues you're going to run into with just putting those pieces together. That the only really variables is you're going to be your side cover choice, for in play, and then camshaft. And everyone has a different opinion on that. So trying to sell a one-size-fits-all never works.
Yeah.
And if I was to put the kit together except the cam, you still might have to go in there and clear it, take it all back apart and clearance it again, because you want to put some crazy camshaft in there.
So you said that at a certain point, you might as well just build it for them.
Yeah.
Can they do that?
All day.
How do they do that?
We have a custom tab on our website. I think it shows up as a complete engine, but honestly, I get people that call in all the time and they just want the basic something that we may already sell, but they want a different camshaft in it or this or that. And I do it all day long.
So if you want a little this or that, you better call Paul.
Yeah. Like I said, I try to offer everything on the website that's tried and true. I've, put at this point thousands of them together. So I know what works, I know what to expect. And it's a great overall combo for price, keeping price down for everybody, but you're getting the most bang for your buck, really. It's the best horsepower for the most longevity, because that's what we want, right? The racer guys will spend the money, but that's a different clientele. The stuff we sell online is great for what it is. And we have them out there that have been running for years, and they still running them because I know those packages work. But if you want something a little bit different, we do offer the custom. You can pretty much tell me you want a stage 2 motor, but you want a 308 cam in it. Okay, if that's what you want, or our stage 4 packages are most popular that people like to customize. You can do with this, away with that, and you want a stage 5 head instead, you know you're going to race it, so you want it a starter box instead of the pull start, I can do all that stuff. We can only have so many SKUs on the website, so it's not like we can offer every single thing that I can think of or a customer can think of. But and you can always call the salesman. The salesman will ring you up anything you want. And a lot of them, you know, they race the mini bikes and stuff, so maybe they have opinions too on what you might want.
Shouts out to our sales team.
Oh yeah.
But the custom tab is the best way to go.
Okay.
I mean, you can just, you know, I think it charges you to pay, but what it's doing is just putting you in the system as a ticket, so we can call you and build you up.
It's just a deposit for what
it's
you're
a
going to be
deposit,
doing.
yeah. And well, really, you have to have a transaction for it to work.
Yeah.
You know, I can't have a free tab. I guess then I'd have 8-year-olds in there. Oh heck yeah, I'm getting me a motor. But it makes sure it's a somewhat legit deal, and you know, it doesn't have to be a $10,000 motor. It can still be a $700 motor. You just don't want exactly what we offer.
Yeah. The second question I had was, is this 236 kit, is this for a specific application? Is there a specific sport, or is there a specific class of racing that this is for?
So the 236, I don't know who or how or why it started, but that's the go-kart. Like I said, that's the go-kart big motor,
Okay.
right? But for me, I mean, that's my go-to anymore. It's literally like the smallest motor I like to build. Obviously, I still build hundreds and hundreds of stock 196. I build tons of 212s, but me personally, if I'm putting it together, it might cost you an extra $100, but now you have a 236, and I know it makes 5 horsepower more than anything else.
Okay.
So of the baseline stuff,
Nice.
I know it's just easier. The parts cost, if you're building, in my opinion, the 225 or the 236, it's the same. So why not get the bigger motor? And it's actually a racing motor.
Yeah.
You know, those parts are racing parts. It's not like I said earlier. It's not like you're buying the 224, which the 224. Well, let's just go to the 225. The 224 motor and the 225. It's only 1 cc different. But the 224 motor is a stock style of engine. It is not a racing engine. The 225 Tillotson engine is a racing engine. Heavy duty block, racing piston. You know, it comes with a billet flywheel. All this stuff. It's a racing engine. But yeah, it costs a little bit more, but you're going to go buy your 224, and what are you going to do? Billet flywheel, billet rod, camshaft. And at that point, now you had a 225.
Yeah.
You might as well just bought it. Did you save anything?
You
No.
could have saved yourself a couple of steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're on a budget, get on our site, buy the block right now. Buy our rotating assembly kit. Wait a little bit. Do it again. Or buy a 212 for now or something and just wait a little bit. But a lot of the customers think that the bigger the engine, the better it is. You know, I know people are out there selling the bigger CC engines, and they're claiming that it's bigger and better. It has to be better, but they're putting stock parts in them. Like, how is that benefiting anything? Just buy even our smaller number. I put our 225 motor, the Tillotson 225 motor up against over nearly everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a great little running motor, and it's a racing engine. Yeah, but the 236 is, for me, that's my go-to.
So going deeper into the 236, you were saying something about the crankshafts being at a different degree?
So on the Honda style engines, the crankshaft gear on it that moves the timing for the difference between the timing of the crankshaft and the camshaft, there's a gear on there, and it's just pressed on there. It's, precision, but I've seen them everywhere. We've tried tons of manufacturers. In the beginning, we were buying them from somebody, and I have seen 10 plus degrees left and right, which for me personally, I really don't do much past 2 degrees plus or minus. And I do manipulate my own, where sometimes I want a -2 or a +2 because I want to change my power band a little bit. But a -10, I don't even know if that motor would start. I believe for the people listening, that when you're putting the motor together and you put the camshaft in there, you're supposed to line the dots. That's how we know it's in time. Those gears fit together and you line the 2 dots, and that's when you know it's right. If you change one line, I think it's 15 or 16 degrees of timing, your motor will not start. I mean, it won't start.
There's so much math involved in engine building. It's crazy.
I was like listening to. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is.
Well, what I was going to get at was the 10-degree motors, right? You're getting these stock crankshafts off the shelf that are the cheapest ones that all these other retailers may be selling for like $25, $30. Those gears are probably so far off that you pray you'd even put them in there and they start. Now you're going to get lucky. I'm not saying you're going to buy that $30 crankshaft and it's not going to start, because obviously they would never sell any. But it's going to be off. They're not going to be at zero, and it's hard to get them at zero. I have a ton of precision tools, and it's hard to get them at zero. And I go through bunches of them just to find zeros, to save them. And we offer them, put this in there. We offer -4 to +4. I normally don't go the -4s, 3s, because I stick to the 2s and 0, but your motor will still start at the 4s. If you're only strictly doing like trail riding, or I think we had one guy was putting the -4 in his, what are they called? Mud boats. Because he just needs that grunt power. When he puts the propeller in the water, it just all bottom end power. He doesn't care about top end power. He wants all the power down. So he was buying the -4 cranks. Or if you're strictly doing neighborhood riding, the +4 cam or crank is the best, in my opinion. If you're just cruising around the neighborhood, you want the top end power. So you're just cruising around. It's not going to kill the bottom end power so far that, it's
Sluggish,
a dud.
yeah.
But it's going to move your power band up to where you're riding. And
So
that's where you want it.
when it comes to power, it's really trying to figure out whether you're like a power.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to aim for the bottom, or you're a power bottom, or you're a power top. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I just wanted to check.
And if you're too scared to choose, if you're a top or bottom person, you go with the 0.
All right, cut.
Oh, fastest pooper, Zane Cooper.
I'm sorry. As soon as he said something about, he was like, yeah, no, like the power bottom. I was like, it's there.
But 0, you can never go wrong.
You could be a switch hitter.
Yeah.
So,
Here we go.
all right. So you're building engines. Let's think about the GPS 660 specifically. It's an
Yes.
1/8 mile. Now, if someone wanted to buy an engine for this 1/8 mile to be fast in the pull starter box, how much money would you guesstimate that engine would cost for them to be competitive?
If they're building it,
If you're building it for them and all they do is slap it on their Rascal GT.
labor, everyone's labor rate's different, from builder to builder. So the price, it varies a ton on labor. It's not just, people will say, well, you can buy it for this amount or whatever. I think you can buy them parts and everything and be competitive in the pull start class. I think you could do it for around parts. You'd be probably about $1,500 plus or minus. They have really good cast heads out there nowadays, so you might even be able to go a little cheaper. But I think we allow the billet head, don't we not?
Don't look at me. I don't know.
I don't even remember.
I did write those rules. I just wrote them down. I didn't come up with them.
I can't remember, but
Is Flacco in the chat? Can he answer this?
There are actually quite a few people in the chat, but
regardless, I think 1,500 parts cost. I think you'll. It's a $2,000 to $2,500 motor for me to build it.
Okay.
There's so many variables. What billet side cover? You want the billet valve cover? Which billet valve cover? I mean, we have a $40 one and we have an $80 one. Right there is $40 instantly. You want the bling bling.
Yeah.
Labor's labor. Do you want it polished? Do you want the chrome header pipe? Do you want the regular header pipe? Do you want the $40 header pipe? Do you want the $100 header pipe? The price is, it just depends. But my motor's nothing special. It's a 236 kit. It's literally everything we sell downstairs, and it's nothing crazy. You can't get too crazy, right? A freaking pull start. I'm not trying to yank this out of my freaking socket.
Yeah.
but
Or leave your shoes
or leave my shoes.
on
I
the
mean,
track. Yeah, like
I had a really hot motor last year, and I can't even get off the line. So what's the matter what my motor cost? I was slow.
That's true. Very true.
I did mess up my word. So there is a pull start and there's a starter box class.
Yeah.
Would the starter box engine be more than
Oh, it'd be way
$2,000?
more. Way more.
more.
That money is opinion of high or low is is an opinion in reality. So I don't even advertise the pricing of that one.
Okay.
It's much higher.
Okay.
But it's to the limit. I think last year our motors were, I don't even remember, 286 or 289. I think I even tried getting rule clarification this year. I said, is the rule limit 290 or are we allowed 290? Is it 290.1
Yeah.
is illegal or is
yeah.
it 290.1 illegal?
Well, we got a question here that says, how do y'all make sure people aren't cheating in the 236 class?
So
far as-
when you win, you have to pull the head. If you're the winner, we're not having everyone pull them.
It's an honor system
It's
until
an
you
honor
podium.
system is the
Yeah.
word. Yeah. So and then when you win, you pull the head.
And
You
what
just measure the
measurements?
piston and measure the stroke. It's very basic. It's very easy. There's only a few combos that really make good horsepower, and 90% of everybody buys off the shelf parts. So
So if you're going to cheat, don't win because we're going to check your stuff.
yeah,
Cheat and lose.
Yeah.
be a hero.
yeah. Go out first round.
Yeah.
Quit wasting my time.
Leave your shoe at the line.
Yeah. But yeah, the starter box is way more expensive.
Okay.
Way more.
Are there any other comments we need
Oh,
to
man,
hit
there's
up?
a ton. So first off, Jack Ramsey says, what up, y'all?
Oh, Jack.
What's up?
Andrew Quintanilla, they don't know. I'm guessing he's talking about like how deep this the math goes on this.
They don't
Donnie Duffer says
know.
$1,500 is fair for
Yeah.
what was that pull start?
It's very fair. And like I said, you don't have to get crazy. There's so much to racing in general. Racing in general is not the fastest motor or the biggest budget. It's proven in every form of racing. Those two things are not what win. You got to have
It's
the
the
whole
heart.
package. That might get you to the track. There's a ton of people with heart, but yeah, it's not the motor. I mean, like I said, I'm first one for it. I went out first round last year. It was a crappy ride home. Not to mention my truck messed up going there last year, so it was
Luckily,
a really crappy way going home. But
Luckily, everybody expected you to do
I
that.
was,
so-
I think I intimidated a few people, which is what I wanted. But
Yeah.
I literally went out first round, and I thought I had all my ducks in a row, and I had obviously none. So the motor started,
The big old goose.
yeah,
Reckless.
but that was about it.
Vintage Mini Bike Lovers says, hey, gang, what up?
What's up?
What's
Shouts out to Too Tall from Mini Bike
Oh.
Misfits.
Hey, dude.
Too tall?
Stanley Mount, it's mind-blowing how deep you can dive into all the specifics of all of this.
He knows because I'll go off on a rant with him some days.
That's what
And
we
I'd
need to
finally
get you
just
two
tell-
on here and just talk for like 3
I have
hours.
to tell myself
We're gonna
to shut up.
We're
'cause
just
I
gonna
will
say
talk
something,
crazy.
and we'll just let you guys talk.
And we'll
Jason and
walk
I are
out.
gonna
Just
head
be gone.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Wesley Pipes says, love it, can't wait for my Lil Rascal GT to get finished.
nice.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Let me see. Bo says he's going to be out here for April. Shouts
Nice.
out to Bo. Can't wait to see you and what you bring.
Nice.
Big King Felder says, what up, GPS fam? See y'all next month.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people coming out.
Good.
I think it's gonna be a good event.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I have DMs all the time.
jump
of-
into your everyone jump into Paul's DMs.
No, please
Slide
don't.
into him.
I promise I'm not the best at it. So some of these people might have sent it to me a year ago. I just haven't
Right.
getting to them. But people will. They're excited this year. We got a lot of people excited for the 6.
This guy says, respond to your DMs that I sent you a year ago.
I would not doubt it. I had to pin my mother at the top of my text messages just because I some days I'll get 20 or 30 messages and she's so far gone, and I'm like, I promise I meant to text back, but I lost you. So now I have her pinned, so at least I always see it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So she won't see this, but
No,
she knows at heart I try.
Yeah.
Montoya Dorch says, "What up, my buddy Paul Crafton?"
What's up, dude?
What's up, my
Hey.
We're
Minibike
racing.
Ricky,
We're
what
grudge
up?
racing this year, me
What's
and him.
up, Ricky?
Yo,
Ricky
Ricky.
said, "Paul in the house." Sam's Garage says, "What's up?" Montoya also said, "Putting a bike together that's already done up nice is a pain. I drove Paul crazy in his shop that night."
No. You didn't drive me that crazy.
He did it.
My wife, maybe.
Your wife says, "Don't come home."
She might have. She does get on here and watch these sometimes.
Ken says, "Jason and Zane, what up, doe? Definitely stand up, guys."
Yo,
Let's see.
Thank you.
thanks.
Sam's
Not
who
me,
else
though.
was Sam?
No, not Paul. Though.
Not Paul.
Paul's a dirty dog.
Yeah.
Sam's Garage. You guys sell great parts. Thanks, Sam's Garage.
We're trying.
Sam's Garage.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Bo says it's all about the builder and the determination when it comes down to it,
And not the heart.
not the heart.
No. Heart is actually not a prerequisite for racing.
Right. I've
gotta-
seen people
you gotta
race
love
without
it.
them, so
And I do want to give a shout out to our guys out in California. We got Fastlane that are coming on out. And I hear
Oh,
the
yeah.
GTS Hobbies boys, the LAX mini bike crew.
Oh,
They
nice.
plan on making it out. I love hanging out with those guys.
Me too.
No, they
They're
are.
a ton of
what
fun.
I love about the Cali scene is that, like a lot of bikes you see here, they're fast, but their bikes are fast and pretty. Like
They do.
look
They do
so
go
good.
all
They
out.
look,
Man,
yeah,
they look
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
There are some guys out there that do it as well, but the Cali group as a bunch,
Yeah.
they're
They do it
showing
right,
it.
for
They
sure.
show it out.
Yeah.
Well, and also I think it's also that because you can kind of race year round.
All year.
they
Every
can
day
do
is a
it.
race day
Yeah.
in California.
Well, it's like you go out there and it's like you're walking into the WWE. It's like there's established rivalries. Like
oh, man.
you
I
have to,
can't
like-
wait for people to see that documentary.
Oh, Small Block
Shouts
City.
out to Daniel Jarvis.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
gosh, such a good one. But yeah, that's it.
All
Right.
right.
Stanley Mount said he's down to do a podcast takeover. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
I also want to give a shout out to our East Coast. Of course, everyone out of North Carolina, like John and Zarillo.
Oh, yeah.
And I think his buddy Wyatt Foster might be
Wyatt,
making it
Johnny
out.
Berry.
Johnny Berry, heck yeah. I saw a bunch of San Antonio people coming on up for the race.
Nice.
SATX,
Nice.
what's up, boys?
What about the Houston folk?
Oh, I don't know you're supposed to talk about them.
No, no.
Talk about
That was
Houston.
wrong for me because I don't even really know them. I just see what they
Nobody
post
knows
on.
what's going on, but it's like they know there's something there. It's nothing though.
It's
nothing.
it's not like like they're still racing down there. Like I still see updates on their racing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, like
I see it all the time. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they should still come up. It's not like
civil. It's a good time. It's all about. At the end of the day, it's all about the brotherhood of just racing and getting out there.
And if you want to see where you stack up against, the U.S., this is the time to do it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm showing up, and I went out first round, so I know where I'm stacked
Yeah.
up. I didn't even make a list.
Yeah, come beat Paul.
They just erased my name off the list, pretend I didn't even show up.
We're just
last
gonna have
year.
an hour of people just beating you over and over again.
Falls in like the worst head.
If
Groundhog's
I
Day.
go out first round this year, mark my words, I'm just leaving that son of a bitch at the line.
Okay.
Sorry. I'll be so fed up with it.
And on that note, that concludes today's podcast.
I'm
it really
sorry,
does.
guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're
Yeah.
fine. The FCC is already written down our neck.
Yeah, no, the FBI is waiting for you outside.
the
Sorry,
FBI.
Let
Paul.
them take me.
Yeah. But
I need a day off.
But Paul, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank
Yep.
you for, I guess, divulging all your tips and tricks.
Yep.
And if anyone needs an engine, definitely hit up the custom tab or hit
Yeah.
sales at
Hit us up.
GoPowerSports.com. Call Jesus or Flacco or Devin or Aldo or
Yeah.
anyone. They can definitely help you out. to
Oh
get you
wait,
set up.
sorry. Shout out and quick recovery to Devin.
yeah.
Because like he took a little bit of a spill there last weekend. But
Safety gear is paramount.
Especially if you're doing wheelies at like 50 miles an hour. So,
also,
Yeah.
that's a prerequisite.
yeah, we love you, Devin. Please come back to work.
Yeah, we miss you, man. I
you.
hope you're feeling good.
But yeah, so thank you, Paul.
Yep. I had fun.
And everyone, if you have a comment, we will still read these comments long after this is done, so we can still answer questions if you have them. We can forward them to Paul as well. For everyone out there, I want you to be safe. I want you to ride on and like, subscribe, and ride on. Oh, man. killed it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Great job, man.
Oh yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Time goes by so quick.